For our first story, we have: will I be the asshole if I break up with my fiance after he said he won't take care of me and our 3-month-old son while admitted at the hospital? Our 3-month-old is admitted for pneumonia. He got it while visiting my family, and the reason why we were forced to visit is because I need help taking care of our son. We've been staying at fiance's home with his family since I gave birth, and while his mom helps, she's been out of town recently. The rest of his family does a little bit from time to time, but it's never really anything significant. He has a full-time job, so he can only truly help out on the weekends. I haven't been sleeping well for a while because I'm exclusively breastfeeding, and a few days ago I really felt like my body couldn't handle the exhaustion anymore, so I asked my parents if we could stay over for a while. My parents are very hands-on grandparents. When the baby's not feeding, they take him so I can rest. Unfortunately, one of them caught the flu and passed it on to my baby. And now he is admitted for pneumonia. My fiance didn't want him admitted. He wanted to bring him home and just give him meds orally, but I persisted because the pediatrician strongly advised the need for IV antibiotics. Once at the hospital, things got worse because they had to try multiple times to get an IV line on him and kept failing. Fiance kept telling me it's my fault for bringing him over to my parents and for agreeing to get him admitted. He was so distraught I saw him crying while holding our baby. It's the first time I've ever seen him cry. Pediatrician says our baby might stay for a minimum of 3 days just until he gets the antibiotics and clears the infection. We might have to bring him home with the IV line and give the antibiotics at home. The problem is if his IV line gets blocked or gets out of vein, we'll have to have it reinserted. I was supposed to finish my maternity leave this week but decided to extend my unpaid leave for 1 week. I have asked him to take a leave as well as he has plenty of leaves left, and also he has a 5-day mandatory leave he needs to fulfill. But now he says he won't do it, he'll go to work, and I should ask my family for help while our son's in the hospital since it's their fault he's here. When he said it, I was so dumbfounded he would even consider saying these things. I just replied with, "Okay," and haven't spoken with him since. He's still in the hospital with us now but says he won't be staying tomorrow. When I ask him for simple things like, "Please pass me the water," or "elevate the head of the bed," things I can't do since I'm holding the baby, he does them begrudgingly. I'm so heartbroken by this. At a time when we should be supporting each other, he chooses to antagonize me in every step and decides to leave me hanging. I'm devastated that on top of worrying for our baby's health, and being the primary caregiver, he springs all of this on me. I can't help but think that this isn't how it's supposed to be, and I don't want a future like this. I know there will be many more difficult things we will have to go through in the future, and it's scary to think he'll act this way when those times come. I'm debating telling him that if he doesn't take care of us during this time, he should consider the engagement off and my son and I will move out and stay with my family once he gets discharged. A huge part of me wants him to come around and for us to fix things. I haven't told my family this yet because it would feel like the final nail in the coffin for our relationship if they know he's acting this way. That's the end of our first post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, "Remember, if ever you need medical help, this is the guy you would be counting on to call an ambulance for you. If you can't trust him with your life, let alone your baby's life, you really shouldn't marry him. Also OP, you deserve a partner, not an antagonizer. Not the asshole." Our second commenter says, "Be glad you haven't married to him yet and take this as a good glimpse of what could come in the future and decide is this what you want for the rest of your life." Our third commenter says, "He sounds like a complete jerk. It's your family's fault your child got sick? Even if that were true, you wouldn't have gone to your family's house if you had help and support at home. So, you could counter and say it's actually his fault. This is a glimpse of your future. He doesn't put you or your son as a priority. Stay with your family and take care of your son and yourself. Not the asshole." For our second story, we have, "I am 21 male and I think I cheated and messed up big time. For 2 years, I have always been loyal. Never looked at anyone else. Never even thought of doing something like this. But something happened. And as I write this, my hands are literally shaking. I don't know how to process. Couple of days back, I went to my barber shop. My regular guy, the one who's been cutting my hair for the past 2 years, wasn't around. He was a little away, busy with something. Another guy waved at me and said, "Come, sit." I should have waited. I should have given it a second thought. But I didn't. Without thinking, I sat down. He started cutting my hair. 10 minutes later, my guy walked in. We had a crazy eye contact moment. I could see it in his face, the disappointment, the betrayal. IDKK. That's the end of our second post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, as a barber expert, this is what you do. You call the shop later on. You ask for your guy, tell them it's important. Get him specifically on the phone. You say, hey man, I'm sorry, okay? I didn't know you were there today and I was kinda in a hurry. But I like the way you cut my hair and I want it to be you in the future. Can we exchange cell phone numbers so I can text you when I think I need an APPT? That's all you had to do. Our second commenter says, just do what everyone else does, say you were drunk and you swear it was just the tip. Our third commenter says, this is kind of adorable, but as the other comments said, communicate with him so you can start making appointments and these misunderstandings don't happen. For our last story, we have update. Am I the ass for refusing to let my mother-in-law hold my baby after she told my husband to get a paternity test? I removed the post by mistake. The story 1. I, 28 female, gave birth to my first child, a beautiful baby girl, 3 weeks ago. My husband, 30 male, and I have been over the moon, but his mother has been causing non-stop drama. She never liked me. From the start, she made snide comments about how I trapped her son, even though we've been happily married for 4 years. When I got pregnant, she constantly joked about how the baby might not be his. I brushed it off as her usual passive-aggressive behavior until I found out she took it way further. 2 days after I gave birth, my husband got a text from his mom saying, you should get a DNA test. You never know these days. I was devastated when I saw it. My husband was furious and told her off, saying he had zero doubts about me and that her comment was disgusting. She tried to backtrack, saying she was just looking out for him. Now she wants to come over and meet the baby. But I told my husband that she will not be holding our daughter. If she wants to question whether my child is even her grandchild, then she doesn't get the privilege of bonding with her. My husband understands why I'm upset, but he thinks we should let her come, just once, so she doesn't play the victim with the rest of the family. Now she's crying to everyone, saying I'm keeping her granddaughter from her, and that I'm punishing her over a harmless question. Some family members think I'm being dramatic and should be the bigger person. But why should I let someone who disrespected me and my child hold her like nothing happened? Am I the ass for refusing to let her hold my baby? Update. Well, I wish I could say things got better, but mother-in-law made sure that didn't happen. After my husband told her off, I thought she'd at least try to apologize, but instead, she doubled down. She started calling my husband, telling him I was turning him against his own mother, and that I was overreacting to a simple question. She even pulled the classic victim act, crying to the rest of the family about how I was keeping her grandbaby from her. Then, things took a ridiculous turn. I found out from my SIL that mother-in-law was actually trying to get a DNA test done behind our backs. Apparently, she was hoping to get a strand of my baby's hair or some spit to confirm the truth. When my SIL told me, I was absolutely done. I told my husband that until she apologizes, not a fake, I'm sorry you're mad, apology, but a real one, she is not welcome around me or my daughter. Thankfully, my husband backed me up 100%. He told his mother that if she can't respect his wife and child, then she doesn't deserve to be part of our lives. Mother-in-law lost it. She went full drama mode, telling everyone I was tearing the family apart, and that she might never recover from this heartbreak. At this point, I don't even care. She disrespected me, she disrespected my marriage, and she disrespected my child. Actions have consequences. So yeah, mother-in-law still hasn't met the baby. And unless she does some serious apologizing and self-reflection, she won't be anytime soon. Aida? That's the end of our last post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, greater than she was hoping to get a strand of my baby's hair or some spit to confirm the truth. So if her truth is that the baby isn't your husband's, why does she care if you are greater than keeping her granddaughter from her, and that I'm punishing her over a harmless question? If her truth is that it's not his kid, then it's not her grandchild. She can't have it both ways. I would so be saying that to every flying monkey. Mother-in-law is convinced I cheated on DH and it's not his baby. Therefore she believes it's not her granddaughter. So by her truth, I'm not keeping her from her granddaughter, cause according to her, baby isn't. She can't have it both ways. Our second commenter says, tell her you want a DNA test on your husband as you don't think his father is the real father. She must be projecting from her own whoring days. Our third commenter says, win stupid games, get stupid prizes. She fafo. Glad hubby is behind you 100%. Update me. That's all for today. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.